I declare open the commencement ceremony for the presentation of graduates in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences.
North Asia and Southeast Asia. He started his career with the Ogilvy Group and rose through the ranks. His last stint with Ogilvy was as a managing director and international business director at Ogilvy and Mater, Malaysia in 2006. Bill also assumed the roles of deputy director of the master planning and marketing team of Bintang Resorts Indonesia and director of global brand at the Singapore Tourism Board, where his team garnered the Best Tourism Branding Award at the Travel Weekly Asia Industry Awards in 2007. Presently, Bill is a director of business development for the worldwide brand consulting firm Future Brand, while lending his expertise to many organizations such as the Singapore Film Commission and the China National Tourism Institute. Bill is here today to share his thoughts with us, so please welcome him.
Dean, distinguished guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I have to admit that I was at first thrilled to have been invited to give this commencement speech, to be able to personally participate in the formal rites of this fine institution, and to congratulate the class of 2009 as you celebrate your achievements and embark on a whole new chapter of your lives. So my first reaction, I was thrilled to participate and to return to this campus. And then I remembered I was here before, 23 years ago. I said where you are sitting now, kind of. Like you, I was very excited, extremely happy. But for the life of me, I couldn't remember the poor guy who delivered our commencement speech. Oh dear. So what do I possibly have to say that could be inspiring to you? How can you, a bunch of people half my age, relate to my ideas on life and success? I could, of course, rely on the tried and tested and say something traditional. Say things that generations before us have always said to us, over and over again. Tell you that life is what you make of it. The world is your oyster. The future is yours for the taking. But while all these cliches are true, I couldn't imagine myself saying them to you with much enthusiasm. Why? Well, for one, it makes me feel very old. So let's just put that aside. And so, quite honestly, I was starting to get anxious about my speech. I asked myself, how did I end up doing this? But then I realized that I was asked to speak because I'm an alumnus. And beyond that, my career, indeed my life, almost took a very different turn because of this faculty, our faculty. You see, I was a technical student all the way to junior college. At my time, if you were in the science or technical streams, you were the better student. I still remember very clearly at secondary 2, having to wrestle with the difficult prospect of choosing a stream for my O-levels. I was 14. I wasn't even sure whether to part my hair on the left, right, or center. So I asked my parents, and they said, "You decide, son. We trust you will choose what you want." Today, I realize the wisdom of my parents' words, but at the time, I didn't. And so I followed my friends. We chose the technical stream. I went on to complete my O and A levels as a technical student, but not without a lot of struggle and self-doubt. And it wasn't just that I was an average and sometimes below average student that bothered me. What really bothered me was I wasn't happy. Every subject except English language or general paper was a struggle. Every day was a drag. I was miserable. My heart wasn't in it, and I didn't know how to get out of that situation. Then came the university. As far as I can recall, that was was the first time I had to stop and really examine myself in order to move forward. I still didn't know what I wanted to do with my life or what career I wanted, but I sure knew what I loved. I loved stories and all forms they took. As a child, I loved comics, books, and art. I loved theater. I loved music, literature, languages, cultures, philosophy. Anything that told a moving story or gave great meaning to me. I was passionate about them. I couldn't get enough of them. I loved the way these stories moved me. I grew curious about them. Why did they move me? How did they do it? I had strong points of view about them. So while I didn't know where it was going to get me with my career, I decided against engineering and architecture and chose to pursue a Bachelor of Arts degree, to the horror of a lot of my relatives and fellow technical students who went on to pursue engineering or computer science degrees. But for me, it came down to an easy choice between being a mediocre engineering student and a happy art student. So off I went to the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences at this university, armed with my A-levels in technical subjects. But once I got there, to my horror, I couldn't get a place in the two courses I wanted to pursue, English language and literature. I was told I would struggle as I didn't have the foundation that other art students who studied literature at A-levels had. Someone said, reassuringly, "I'm sure you can easily get a place in economics." I was crushed, but having taken the illogical yet difficult leap from the technical to the arts, something inside me took over. I embarked on a crusade to prove to the faculty that I should be given a chance to study double English as the combination of those two subjects were called. Armed with nothing but blind determination, I called on my English teachers from my secondary school and general paper teachers from my junior college and asked them all for testimonial letters. It helped that I consistently delivered distinctions in their subjects. And I went back to the university and presented these letters and made another case to study the courses that I wanted. I got it. And then, true enough, as they said I would, I struggled through the courses. But I had so much vested interest in what I was doing, so much to prove to myself that I could do it. Most important of all, I was so happy doing it. I no longer simply read stories and poems. I was studying them. And so I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1986, a time not so different from now in that the economic conditions were harsh. Companies were suffering, jobs were hard to find, and if you did find one, they paid peanuts. I began to wonder if I did the wrong thing by turning down the opportunity to do an honors degree in my other major, which was political science. You see, I was anxious to get on with my adventure in the real life. Now, fortunately, I didn't find a job that shipped me to Shanghai as a management trainee, as a hotel management trainee. I love the adventurous, romantic idea of living and working overseas. In a communist country, no less. China had only just opened itself up to the world. Conditions in China were harsh, exciting, rewarding, and educational all at the same time. But that's another story. Let's come back to my career. Now soon I had to choose a hotel department to specialize in. Would it be food and beverage, front office, finance? Now this was not a simple thing, as everyone, myself included, felt the weight of this important career decision. Finally, and again, to everyone's surprise, I chose the small-sized and lowly regarded public relations department. Never mind if the way up the hotelier ladder was via the food and beverage or front office departments. I chose to specialize in a craft where I felt the most validated, where I was most happy yet challenged. Crafting the hotel's image using the media, writing and publishing its magazines and books, promoting every single important facet of the hotel's brand. I returned to Singapore as the hotel's public relations manager, the only male PR practitioner in the industry. I was a curiosity. And that was when someone from the world's largest communications company, Ogilvy and Mather, heard about me. They gave me a call, and soon I found myself pouring my heart and soul into public relations consulting. Working with clients such as Pepsi-Cola, Singapore Airlines, crafting, sharing their brand stories. I was having too good a time to consider it work. In fact, time seemed to seamlessly flow between work and my other passions, which were acting, singing, musical theatre, and even hosting television programs. I guess you could say I was telling stories both on the corporate and theatrical stages. So one thing led to another, and I found myself starting my own communications and film businesses in Singapore. And then we grew to Malaysia and Indonesia. We were branding the Singapore Arts Festival to the world, producing Singapore's very first international documentary for the Discovery Channel, and more recently, as Director of Global Brand at the Singapore Tourism Board, I found myself branding our own country. And that's probably as challenging as it gets for someone in the brand and communications business. And indeed, an honor. You have to do what you love, and love what you do. Something all successful people have said when interviewed. Be true to yourself, be true to your passions. I can tell you after more than 2 decades of experience in this field, that the brands that endure are the ones that are like the great personalities of our time. Honest, self-evident, and relevant. That means being true to who you are, understanding what your passion and values are, and making them relevant to others, sharing them. For it is your own honesty about your passions and gifts that will inspire and touch others. Because when you follow your passion, indeed, let me close this point by retelling a story that award-winning author Thomas Friedman once told to a graduating class, much like this some years ago. Like him, I believe this is a story that belongs in every commencement speech. This story is written by the American teacher and poet, Taylor Mardy. It is called What Teachers Make. It goes something like this. The dinner guests were sitting around the table discussing life. One man, a CEO, decided to explain the problem with education. He argued it this way. What's a kid going to learn from someone who decided his best option in life was to become a teacher? You know, it's true what they say about teachers. Those who can, do. Those who can't, teach. To corroborate his statement, he said to another guest, Susan, he said, "Hey Susan, you're a teacher, be honest. What do you make?" Now Susan, who had a reputation for honesty and frankness, replied, "You want to know what I make? I make kids work harder than they ever thought they could, and I can make kids sit through 40 minutes of study hall in absolute silence. I can make a C- feel like the Congressional Medal of Honor, and an A feel like a slap in the face if the student didn't do his or her very best." Susan continued, "I can make parents tremble when I call home, or feel almost like they won the lottery when I tell them how well their child is progressing." Gaining speed, she went on. "You want to know what I make? I make kids wonder. I make them question. I make them criticize. I make them apologize and mean it. I make them write, and I make them read. I make them show all their work in math and hide it all on their final drafts in English." Susan then stopped and cleared her throat. "I make them understand that if you have the brains, then follow your heart. And if someone ever tries to judge you by what you make in money, you pay them no attention." Susan then paused. "You want to know what I make?" she said. "I make a difference. What about you?" Great story. It's a crazy world out there right now. But I read somewhere once, every moment is a new beginning. What you decide this very moment will spark a whole chain of events that will propel you and those around you in a direction. I hope whatever you decide to pursue from here on will be based on passion. Be it postgraduate school, or join the workforce, or take a year off to travel the world. Take some time off to think. I hope you don't just listen to your head, listen to your heart. Follow your passions. Do what you love, for you will end up loving what you do. And if you still don't quite know what it is that you love, keep searching. You will find it. And when you do, you will make a difference. Thank you.
That presents the graduates on whom the following degrees have earlier been conferred. Doctor of Philosophy, winner of the Wang Gangwu Medal and Prize, Genevieve Denise Duran. Master of Arts, Patichi Joshi. Master of Social Sciences, Chi Ming Feng. Tian Wei Lai.
Surya Linda Snow.
Ai đi đấy?
Hei Tan In Yi. Adeline Han Mei Yin. Ko Yao Jie. Nguyen Xuan Hong Mai. Or by Abdul Bahar. Lucino Hamodibero Cabri. The Dean and the Dean, we would like to extend our congratulations to you on this special day. And we offer our best wishes for your continued success as you enter for new beginnings. We warmly welcome you to the FSS alumni family, and we look forward to staying in touch with you in the years ahead. Once again, congratulations, Class of 2000. There will be two valedictorians for this ceremony. The first valedictorian is Mr. Jeremy So Yi Xiang. Jeremy graduated with a degree of Bachelor of Social Sciences with first-class honors. Jeremy is the winner of the NTUC Income Prize. The second valedictorian is Mr. Christopher Navarajan Salvaraj. Christopher graduated with a degree of Bachelor of Social Sciences with first-class honors, and Mr. Salvaraj is the winner of the Sociology Gold Medal and the Tan Boon Kiat Gold Medal. Jeremy will deliver his speech first.
Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, Prof. Tan Tai Yong, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen. It is believed that every year, the most good-looking men and women of each cohort are selected as valedictorians. This year is obviously the exception. Now today, I will not be talking about our achievements or our promising future. Instead, let me begin by telling you a story about Pig with Wings. When I read the award-winning book of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, I recall seeing this logo of a pig with wings on the last page. And that logo is accompanied by a Latin phrase, ad astra per alia porci, which means to the stars on the wings of a pig. Steinbeck had once been told by his college professor that if he ever becomes an author, pigs will be able to fly. Hence, the phrase to the stars on the wings of a pig became his personal motto to represent his pursuit of a seemingly impossible dream. And like Steinbeck, I too felt like I was chasing an impossible dream when I had my university application rejected not once, but twice as a result of my lackluster grades. I could only watch in envy as my peers soared away to the skies on their handsome eagles, while I trotted along clumsily on a pig behind. But a year later, after I retook my examinations during my national civics, my pig grew wings. And like all of you seated in this hall today, I have never stopped flying since. On this day, however, we must land and chart our next course in life. Now, the completion of our education at NUS, or the National University of Stairs, has not come by easily. For instance, to get from LT11 to the Central Library, one has to climb some 76 steps along the way. Each day, we climb an average of 384 steps as we travel from point to point in our faculty alone. Now, having literally experienced the notion of an uphill struggle to success, I am confident that all of you today will remember and cherish this moment for many years to come. However, what is even harder to come by are the memories that we have collected over the years. I recall how complimented I felt in my first year when the vegetarian food stall auntie told me, "Wow, you look very handsome, huh? You want to eat anything or not?" But apparently I realized that she says that to every male student that catches me. In my program, I have also embarked on projects that took us to where the unadventurous dare not tread, such as interacting with spiritual healers and writing a thesis on how prostitutes in Singapore use the internet to further their trade. Yet, these memories mean nothing to us without the people who made them possible. For a start, our education would not have been possible if not for the selfless candles who consume themselves to light the path for us. Now, here at the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, we must realize that our lecturers tend to leave us with more questions than answers at the end of the day. Especially when they use their trademark, "Oh, it depends on how you see it." Not only that, time and time again, our lecturers have also impressed us with their linguistic creativity when they say things like, "I feel better talking to a wall because there is hope that the wall will respond to me." To quote Lim SS 2005. I think that we will really miss growing up among the inspirational giants that our lecturers are. And I think that this powerful sensation that we are feeling within us now is what we call gratitude. Please join me in a round of applause to our peers in CNM have also taught us well. For instance, my peers at CNM has consistently challenged my limits by being the brilliant PR practitioners, witty copywriters, creative graphic designers, dedicated journalists, and talented new media professionals. As accomplished communicators, these people people have also impressed me with their ability to disseminate gossip with ruthless efficiency. Nothing beats the rush of working with these talented individuals to produce work that commands professional respect. And nothing tops our fun-filled friendship. Finally, I didn't pay them either. Finally, how can we ever thank our families for the sacrifices they have made to put us here today? But sometimes, it is the most basic words that convey the most profound meanings. For instance, Mom, Dad, and Eric, thank you for being my mom, dad, and Eric. So, here is the part where I send you off with practical advice to last you until the retirement age of 65. Sons and daughters of the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, we go forth today with the gifts of critical inquiry, analytical reasoning, and persuasive communication. Gifts as such are for helping people, so remember to be the giants that our juniors may stand on. Step out of your comfort zone, explore the world, watch carefully, listen intensely, and speak wisely. We are art students of NUS. Do not merely exist, live. As we commence to a new chapter in our lives today, let us break away from cliché sayings and turn instead to the profound words of Meredith Grey from Grey's Anatomy. Maybe we can never find pure happiness, but at the end of the day, the fact that we have the courage to still be standing is reason enough to celebrate. So, K Sarah, Sarah, whatever Now, let us go to the stars on the wings of a pig. Well done, all of you.
Mr. Bill Ang, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. What an excellent turnout. Correct me if I'm wrong, but morning classes are rarely this full. It is indeed a tremendous privilege for me to stand here and address you on behalf of the graduating class of 2009. I join an exclusive list of illustrious individuals whose words will sadly never be remembered because everybody here just cannot wait to leave. Despite this, let me first take the opportunity to congratulate each and every one of you on a fantastic achievement this morning. As an NUS graduate, take pride in knowing that you are now a member of a select group from a truly global university, acknowledged to be among the best in the world. In case you're wondering how I came up with that, I took it from my NUS admissions letter. So, I spent a great deal of time, not really just some time, thinking about what I could possibly say in these few minutes to sum up our NUS experience. What is it that makes the NUS experience one of a kind? Unfortunately, I couldn't really come up with anything. But one thing did stand out. I began to realize that my own NUS experience has been shaped more than anything else by the people around me. And so I want to talk about something that very often gets forgotten on an occasion such as this, where we honor success, excellence, and achievement. Today, I want to talk about friendship. By nature, man alone is not sufficient to meet his wants. So asserts Aristotle in his discussion of friendship. Friendship, to Aristotle, is the crucial bond that gives people something in common as they strive together towards the fullest and happiest existence. Now, in case you're wondering why I'm going back as far as ancient Greece, there is no real particular reason. I just wanted to sound intelligent. But more importantly, where would would each of us be today without our friends around us, whether our classmates, teammates, hallmates, or friends we simply cannot remember how we met? How many of us can say that we got to this point all on our own? Where would each of us, allow me to share a most recent experience. I had often heard that embarking on an honors thesis would be one of the most sobering and lonely experiences an undergraduate would have to go through. It was just you and your thesis. Nobody could help. Most of the time, to be quite frank, nobody would have any idea what you were even talking about. My sociology honors class, on the other hand, had other ideas. Right from the start, a group of us were motivating and encouraging each other, sharing our frustrations, checking on each other's progress, and reading and commenting on each other's drafts. Quite frankly, I cannot even begin to imagine going through that experience without them. So here's to you guys, the sociology class. So I guess this is what I want to say at the end of the day. If you don't remember anything else about your NUS experience, remember the friendships that you made here, and recognize what a difference your friends made to your time on this campus. It has often been said that the best time to make friends is before you actually meet them. As each one of us moves on to wherever life takes us, it might do us good to reflect on the wise words of who else but Winnie the Pooh. You can't stay in your corner of the forest, waiting for others to come to you. You have to go to them sometimes. I would like to end on a more personal note. Surely my largest debt of gratitude must go to my parents. That I stand here this morning as valedictorian has very little to do with me. Instead, it is testament to their endless love and support these past 25 years. They're seated over there, so now they understand. I must also thank the professors and staff members of the sociology department. Special mention must go to Prof. Lin for supervising my thesis, and Dr. Ghana for being possibly the best honors coordinator in the history of the world. But it's not over yet. Last and most definitely not least, to the sociology honors class of 2009. It's been an awesome year and I've treasured every day with you. Not really, but in public. To the class of 2009, as we get ready to commence, let me leave you with words of friendship that have inspired me my whole life. Come grow old with me. The best is yet to be. Thank you all very much.
I declare this commencement ceremony closed.
Remain standing, my fellow graduates. This is a proud day for our parents and loved ones who have served us in our journey here. Therefore, before we leave this hall, let's take this opportunity to turn and face our families and show our appreciation. A round of applause. Please join me in this gesture. Thank you.